Yes. So in the last class we saw like what are the methods we have which we can apply on the string class, right? So any object of string class will have all these functions that we can apply on it, right? So common ones are these, which you can find over here, right? Like capitalize, case, fold, center, count, ends with, all that stuff, right? So we'll just see few of them now quickly. Okay. So let's start with find command. Okay. So what will find do? So let's say a fruit of banana. I can simply use fruit.find NA and then print POS. So it will print the position of first position of NA. So this is the first position. So 0, 1, 2. Okay. And if the alphabet is not there or the string is not there, it will return a -1. So this can be very useful, getting this -1. Done. Then we can also use uppercase. So greet is a string here. If you use greet.upper, it will convert everything into an uppercase string. Okay. Same way we have lower also. So low is equal to greet.lower, print low, hello Bob.
Himanshu, can we apply this method on the list also? Individual elements of list also?
No, we have to write a
Same
loop
only.
first.
Okay.
Yeah. Otherwise, you can subset a list and then you can apply. Then it will be a string. But list will be
Mm-hmm.
a it will be an array of string, right?
Yes.
So you cannot directly apply. You can apply on a subset of list, which can be a string.
Okay.
We'll see that. Okay. So if you want to apply on all the elements of a string, you have to write a for loop. Yes, done till lower. Then you can use search and replace also. So there's a replace function. So I want to search for Bob and replace it with Jane. So greet hello Bob and stay greet dot replace Bob and Jane and then this. So then you'll see it is replaced with Jane. ये हो गया. This we have done. Okay. Now the other thing is, in case I just want to replace the first instance of O. I just want to replace this O but not this O. So I can pass the number also. OX and 1. So to replace the first O. If I pass 2 over here, sorry. Where is this gone?
Sorry.
If I pass 2 over here, both the O's will be replaced. Okay, let me know once you're done till here. Done, Prabhakar?
Yes. Done.
Okay. Now this is very handy. Stripping white space. Okay, so now we have L strip and R strip. Okay. So now if I pass hello bar with lot of white space over here, and then I use grid.L strip, you'll find all the left white space will be gone. And similarly, if I use R strip, the right strip will be gone. If I use strip, both will be gone. Done.
Yes.
So we have seen R strip, we have seen L strip, and strip also, right? Then we have a starts with command, a function. Okay. So if you search starts with please, it will throw a true. See this now. So I have a line, please have a nice day. And I search for please, it will give me a true. But if I make it a small p, it will make it a false. Then
Yes.
just a second. Let me show you one more function. Line dot split. See this. So if I pass a string, it will separate it into each word, each element will be separated if I use the split function. Okay. So I'm using line dot split here. Getting it? So use line dot split also. But if I use like this, you can do it like this also. Please dot, all the strings functions will be there. If I run like this, it won't do much. Have a good day.
It will not split into character, right? No.
No, just a second. No, it won't do that. Let's say string is please. Right, so now I want to see string dot split. Need to do like this only. So it's not necessary to use only separator as. So here the separator is blank, right?
Yes.
In this case, if you don't want to use a blank, you can use other also. Okay. So separator you can change from this none. Clear? Okay.
Hema, so how did you get this information about the method by clicking shift
Shift
plus
tab twice.
shift tab?
Twice. So keep press key hold shift and then keep on pressing tab once and then twice.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Done?
Yes.
Okay. So now let's see parsing and extract. Say for now, for example, we have got an email and the subject of email is like this, from Stephen this was the date and everything, right? So now I want to separate the domain name from this. How will I do that? I just want to separate the domain name to like from where the mail has come. How to extract that?
Hello.
Yes.
Yeah, sorry, I had lost the connection just now. I joined again. Could you just tell them what after prefixes you told? Like,
Sorry?
I had lost the connection. I mean, I missed few things. Where we're up to?
Okay, so Akshay, we are just doing this like we want to extract string from this line. I want to extract this email
Okay.
address, the domain name. How to do that?
Okay. Okay. Okay.
So try in doing this. You know who is this? Yeah, thank you so much. Yes, Prabhakar, how to extract this? We'll try to find the position of at the rate, right? And then we'll extract from this point to this line.
Okay. So we can use the indice, right?
See. So now what we'll do is, I have this data, right? I'll just ping you the string. So you can also use it. Okay. So find the indices of at the rate, which is 21. So just save it in somewhere. Find it at position. Okay. And I have to stop here. So I know I have to stop when there is a blank. So Now see this. So I want to find this blank, but after starting from at position only. So this we have not done in the find function, right? So see this data dot find and look at the help of it. So you can pass the start and end also. So I have passed the start here. That I want to start searching from at position. Means I have to start from here, right? So SP position will be this. If I print it, I will get 31. Okay. Now I know how to slice it. So I want to start from the next of at the rate, that's why +1, and I want to stop before SP before the blank. So it will stop at this A. See this.
Got it.
Okay, clear?
And can you repeat it again?
Samir, what we did, like we first of all found the position of at the rate.
Okay.
Okay. So we got the position of U, which is next to at the rate, right?
Yes.
And now I know I have to stop at A. So how to realize when is A? I know that there is a blank after A. So I search for this blank position after at pause. Right? So data dot find blank comma start from at pause. It will start searching from at the rate and go on the right side and stop at this blank. It will give you the location, which is 31. So I don't want to go to 31, I want to go up to 30 only. Right? But in Python we know that if I use this A colon B, it goes up to B minus 1 only. B is not included. Right? So now I'm slicing it. Okay. ओके अभी ये क्वेश्चन करेंगे खुद से आई एम पासिंग यू अ स्ट्रिंग okay, so use the find and string slicing to extract the portion of the string after the colon character, and then use float to convert the extracted string into a floating point number. Do this quickly. Yes, done. Yes, Samir.
You found the position, that one.
Okay, so what we are going to do, first of all, we're going to find the column, right?
Position. Yes. Let's
See
go.
this now, I'll just quickly write it out. So that's my str. Ideally, you should not use str as a name of the variable. Better use, let's just I'll use string. Okay. String dot find colon, right? What will it give you? It will give the position. Let's save it in add pos. Right? Now, from where do I want to start from? String add pos comma colon. Mm-hmm. String dot find, what is the it's an integer only. So add pos is 18, so I'll start from here. Right, and I want to go up to this. If I pass 18 over here, what do I get? Let's say 18 to 20. Something is wrong here. No, it's working. Okay, I was using a. Okay, I'll just use add pos. Yes, now it's okay. So I will start from colon. I don't want to start from colon. I can start from +1. So this is one way, right? Now, if you want to do, you can use lstrip also to strip it, right? And if you want to can convert into a float as well. So it will be a float now. Okay. So this column means I want to continue from +1 till end, at pos +1 till end. I think I was using a comma earlier, that's why it was throwing an error. String 18. No, I was also using this only. Yes. Okay, I was using a comma earlier, maybe that might be, yes. Okay. Yes, done, Prabhakar?
Yeah, yeah.
Good. So now let's do some more practice on strings. Where is that indexing? Okay. Now let's quickly start with first the indexing part. Yep. So we have seen the indexing in the last class that you start from 0 from the left, or otherwise you can also start from -1 from the right. Right? So if I want to print the last alphabet, I can simply use s of -1. If s is learn to program. Okay. So it says negative indices are used to count from the end from the right hand side. Now that was indexing. Now what is slicing? We can extract more than one character using slicing. So which this we've already seen. What is 0 to 5 do from 0 to 4. 6 to 8 will give you 6 and 7. And 9 to
Master?
16. Yes.
And what if we use -4 to -8? Then how? Which will it take beginning and which will it
We'll
take?
come to that. Just hold on. I'm just coming to that only. Okay. See this. Now one way is like, so let's do this. I'll just quickly show you. So my S here is learn to program. Okay. So S9 colon 16 will give me program. Instead of 16 I can also use len of S. Okay. So it will stop at the length of the S. Or I can simply use colon also. That's again the same thing. Okay. Now let's see this. Okay. If what is the meaning of using a colon over here? It will print the complete string
check.
anyways, right?
Yes.
It will bring the complete string. What is the meaning of this colon 8?
0 to 7.
0 to 7, right? 8 not included. Up to 8, right? So let's do this also. S colon 8 will give me learned, right? It's the same thing as S 0 to 8. Okay?
Yes.
Yes. So it
So
says
is it calculating space also, because
yes, of
after
course.
learn there will be space.
Yes, it will count the space also. So space will be counted as a character.
Okay.
See this.
Consider this
0,
is
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Okay. Okay, it's count from 0 to 7. Okay.
Right. It's 0 to 7. 0 is L. E is 1. A is 2. 3, 4. Space is 5. Okay. T is 6. O is 7. Clear?
Yes.
Yeah. So now we can use negative indices also. So the following three expressions are equivalent. So I can use 1 to 8. It will take from 1 till 7. Or I can use 1 to -8. Now what is the meaning of -8? It will go up to this space, but space is not included, means it's the last one, so I will go up to here. Are you getting this?
Yes.
So simply it's looking at the position of -8 and it will go up to here. Now let's see what when both are negative, -15 to -8. So it will start from -15 and then go up to 7.
Okay. Got it.
Okay. See, actually negative indexing creates a lot of confusions. I would suggest you only to use negative when you want to, let's say, remove the last alphabet or the last two or something like that. Means if you have to work upon the last part of the string, then only go for negative indices. Otherwise, you have this positive indices, right? In case you want to exclude the last letter or last alphabet, you can simply use -1. Else it might create a lot of confusion.
R mostly with the subsetting part, those things. Usually
Sorry, come again?
in R we use mostly subsetting, those things, subset function.
No, I'm not getting you. You're comparing it with
Yeah,
R?
my question is, yeah, comparison with R only.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so what
So
you
we
do
are
in
using
R?
the subset, those things, and we are replacing, suppose you want to replace or remove all those things. It is
Right, so
similar.
that these functions are here also. See, in R also subset and all work on data frames and right, and all those
Mhm.
data frames, the matrices. Here also we'll do that. So right now it's
Okay.
just a string.
Mhm.
Okay. So this we have seen.
Only
This
the
we have seen. Okay.
indexing, there is
Now
index will
let's.
start with.
Sorry.
Yeah, if you compare the indexing only, that's the only difference is there. There it will start from 0 and there it will start from 1. That's the
Right.
only.
Right. Right. Now let's see this. Now try to modify the strings. Now what I want you to do is like I want you to convert this T to capital T. Now can I assign this? Can I do it like this? Let's see here. In this case I want to use the sixth to be D. What is sixth? T to D. So can I do like this? Try doing this.
Error is coming something.
Okay, what is that error?
STR object does not support item assignment.
What is the meaning of that?
You can't assign an individual item.
See, the strings are immutable. You cannot
Yes.
modify a string.
Mhm.
So whenever you use that lower, upper or replace function, you are actually generating a copy of the string.
Okay.
Remember this. Okay. But I cannot say for example I want to add alphabet over here on the same S, or if I want to like say I want to change the sixth with a D, sixth position with a D. So I cannot do it. So strings are called immutable. Read this. The slicing and indexing operation do not modify the string that they act on. So the string that S refers to is unchanged by the operations above. In fact, we cannot change the string. Operations like the following results in an error. Okay. Imagine that we want to change string S to refer to learned to program. The following expression evaluates to that. We can use S colon F and then we can use ED and then we can use the remaining part also. Okay. And then you have to assign the new string to S. So this is allowed. But you cannot mutate that string. Are you getting this? Yes, Prabhakar, Samir, Akshay.
Yes, Manoj.
Okay. Okay. So now I want to show you some escape sequences also in Python. Say for example, let's create this string. I'll just ping you this string on the chat box. Now try creating this string. See this. Now as soon as I run it, it will throw up an error. Why is there an error? It says invalid syntax. So now you see here, I want to use an apostrophe here. So this string colon will close here also only. Right? So this string is out of this brackets. That's why there is an error. So one option is like you can simply use a different comma over here as compared to this one. Then there is no error. Right? But if I want you to use, if I want to use this one only, then what to do? We can simply use a backspace over here. Okay. And now the error is gone. If you want, you can print strong greeting now. So this is one option. Other option, as I told you earlier, that if you don't want to use this escape sequence, you can do the other way around also. Means you can use the double quotes at the outer brackets and then the single quote here. Like this. That will also perfectly work. Both are correct. And we have seen one more way of creating strings. Right. So these strings can be extended for any number of lines if we use 3 inverted commas. So where do we use it?
Inside the function.
We use it as doc strings in our function, right? Document strings. So this is also very useful. So these strings cannot be extended. If I put enter over here, it will throw an error. Okay.
Yes.
Now let's quickly look at some string operators also. So I'll create a heading now quickly using a markdown. I'll put this string operators. Okay. Now let's create two string str1, which is simply AB, and str2, which is simply C. Okay. Now what will str1 plus str2 give me? It will concatenate the two. Right? What will str1 cross 3 give me? It will repeat my string thrice. So this is also useful sometimes when I have to repeat my string. Clear? So you can do it this way also, that doesn't make any difference. str1. Okay, there are a few assignments on string and string manipulation. Okay, these are a lot of good questions, so you should do it. Okay, I'll just mail you this today. There are 2 furthers. It will give you good practice. Yep. Yes, any doubts in this?
No.
Now you're going to start with the next chapter, that is files. So create a new file. And we are going to call it, not this. Okay. Now, how do we read a file? So when I'm telling that I'm reading a file, is mostly restricted to a text file only. How to read a CSV or a Excel file or other files will be discussed when we discuss pandas and all. So right now, it's just reading a text file we are talking about. Right. So for example, an email. So it says a text file can be thought of as a sequence of lines. Okay. So for example, this is a file now, which is a text file, right? Now this file is stored over here. I will share the link with you. How to copy this? Oh shit, yeah. Try this link. Okay. So now how do we read a file? Okay. So download that file and save it as a txt. So simply passing here also you can Hmm. Have you tried this?
No.
You have to give both URL and file name.
Yes. File name will automatically take. See, there's an error here. I'll just put it from computer and share with you. So that's my mbox shot. Upload. Can I make this public? Leave it. Have you got access to file? Yes or no?
Yeah, fine. You open here.
Yeah. Yes.
Yes.
So what to do? We have saved as a text file. Then what is the next step?
Next step, you have you have opened a notebook, right?
Yes.
Okay, just I'll tell you what to do now. Just a second. Let me just move that file over here. Where's that file? Okay. This I can. Can I move it here? Duplicate view, edit running NV extensions. Can't I copy this from here? I have to do it from editor. Okay, no issues. That's the file we have. I'll quickly upload one more file from on here. Yes, so that's new from computer. I'll use files. I will use read a file, and I might use. Yeah, that's okay. Now open a. Have you opened this new notebook?
Yes.
Okay. Now how do we open a file, right? So first thing we have to do is like we have to open the file before reading it. So it says before we can read the contents of a file, we must tell Python which file we are going to work with and what we'll be doing with the file. This is done with the open function. Open returns a file handle, a variable used to perform operations on the file. So it's similar to file open we have in a word processor. So before, if I have give you doc file, you first open it, then only you can read it, right? Same thing is here. Open is just an handle, which is, say for example, if you open a door, what you do, you catch the handle and then you turn it, and then you can open the door, right? So that's the open function here. So one way of reading it is like this. File handle is equal to open mbox.txt comma r. So r means I just want to read it, I don't want to write it. If you want to write it, you have to make a w over here. Okay. So fn open mbox short.txt comma r. So now this file should be the same folder where you have this IPython notebook. Otherwise it might throw an error. If it is not, you have to pass the complete path over here. Yes, done.
Yes.
So now you're not read the file, you just open the file as of now. We'll read it later. Okay. Now what happens if, let's try this. If and open stuff.txt. If you'll get an error like this. So it says an error, but it's the error file not found error. This is the type of the error that we are getting. No such file or directory stuff.txt. Right? Now what is a handle over here? So handle is like, if you see here, I have a file in this container. So handle is used to open the file, close the file, read the file or write the file. So that's the use of a handle. Right? So this we've already seen. Okay. Now what is the new line character? So if you see here that where was that? I have this text file, right? So all the lines are not printed in the same line. There's a line ending and then it goes away, goes back, goes to the next line, right? So there is a operator over here called \n, which is known as the new line character. See this. So for example, if I do like this, stuff is hello \n world. And now if you print it, you will get hello and world in the different lines. But if I have just a space, you know what will happen, right? It will print in the same line. So once you call the string, you'll get \n. But if you use the print function in print, you'll never get that characters, the new line characters, right? Now one more thing, if I use the length of it, it will be counted as a character. So I have x \ny. So if I print it and if I print length of stuff, I'll get a 3, not a 2. Then
Yes.
so this is a one character. \n is not two characters. It is a single character only. You can call it as a special character for a new line, right? Okay. Now how do we read a file? So it says the text file can be thought of as a sequence of lines. So 1 line, 2 line, 3 line, and so on, right? And actually it is like this. We have \n everywhere. So if there's a line gap, there's a \n over here. So if you print it, or most of the word processor will never show you this \n, right? Because it's pretty obvious. They are made in such a way that they simply shift the line to next line, but they will never show you this \n, right? Now how do I read a file in Python? One option of reading it says a file handle open for read can be treated as a sequence of strings, where each line in the file is a string in the sequence. So one way is like I can read it line by line. So to read it line by line, I need to use a for loop here. Okay, let's try this now. See this. I think we have this also. Yeah. Try this here. Just a second. Try with this code first. Do this code only.
Yeah, got it.
Got it? So let's see what we are trying to do here. Let me do it like this. So what we have done here is, so I've used X file as a file handle. Okay. Open mbox dot short txt, right? And then for, let's say, cheese, or you can use any word here. Cheese in X file. I'll just simply print cheese. So you'll see, it's a very big file, I believe, right? So you'll see one by one all the lines we are here, right? So it's a very big file.
Himanshu?
Yeah.
Yeah, still I'm getting some error like traceback.
Where?
Do we need to save? I have saved the file. Do we need to do anything extra apart from that?
It should be in the same folder where we have this Python notebook.
Okay.
I hope you have saved it in Azure only, not on your local system.
Yeah, I haven't saved. Hello.
Yeah. कैसे किया?
And I haven't saved Azure.
You not saved it in Azure? Then save it. One way
Like
is
I have
like.
saved it in our desktop.
Sorry?
I have saved it in my local desktop. Like,
No,
but
then
Azure notebook is not local, right?
right. So you have to save it there.
Could you just show how do you do that? I think I missed that.
Sorry?
Could you just show me how do you do that? I think I missed that.
See, one way is like you can just open. You have that link.
Yeah, link of that. Yeah, the file.
Okay, so the one way is like you just open it and just copy it, or do one thing. You're in the local system, right? So you have saved it
Yeah.
in the local file. Okay, just do one thing now. Simply go to that folder and go to from computer. See this. New, from computer, choose files, and then choose that file, mbox short. Okay.
Okay. That from my computer. When does it come? Okay, new.
Sorry.
When we click on file open,
click on new, add items to library from computer, choose files, and then choose the file which we have downloaded. Okay,
Yeah, one second.
and then click on open. It will upload here over here. Shall I move it now?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, now what to do? So now this is how you're going to read a file, right? Now let's say I want to see this. So again, this is again is going to read the file. Same. Now I want to count the number of lines. So I can also put a counter inside it. See this. Count 0 for line in f end. Count is count plus 1. Print count print line. So now what will happen? It will print the count as well. Line also after every sentence. Plus it will also print the count at the end. Run करो इसको. 1 2 3 4 and so on. It will go up to. Oops, they're almost 1910 lines.
Yeah, 99.
Done?
Yes.
Okay. Let's move ahead now with the PDF. So which is we have seen. Now we have seen the counting also, right? Now there is one more function of which you can use on the handle dot read function. Now the problem with this is it's going to read the whole file as a single string, right? Let's see this also. Again, you have to first create a handle. Then input is fn dot read and then print this. Okay.
Himanshu, um,
Yes.
even if there is a space between line, then it will be counted as a line only
Yes.
because
See this.
line
There's
number
a
112.
yeah. There's a backslash. See this 905 1906, right? So this is a backslash n over here. It's counting as a line. Yes. Okay.
Mhm.
Now, what I will show you is like don't do is like this. Just use len of inp. Oh shit! It will take a lot of time. Just give me a second. Just a second. Yes, how many lines are you getting? 94626, right? So now see this. This is not line. Sorry, this is the length of the string. It is taking the complete file as a string. Okay. So this is the issue with this method. Now, if I want to print the first 20 characters, I can use INP this colon 20. So everything will work which was working earlier on a string. Getting this?
Yes.
Okay, now let's move ahead. Now let's say I want to find out only those lines which start with the from. Otherwise I don't want to print it. So we can use a if loop, if construct inside the for loop. कैसे करेंगे इसको? First of all, I will create a handle which opens the file, right? Then again the normal procedure for line and fn, it will start reading line by line. But I will say, okay, if line the starts with from, if this condition is true, then only print, otherwise don't print it. Now let's see this. We'll get like this, we'll get all the email addresses right. Now why am I getting so many lines over here? Why there are so many spaces? Can anyone explain this? Why are we getting double spaces over here?
Backslash and that is
Sorry?
that backslash and that is working here because of this new line is created.
Okay. But there are two spaces here, right? Not one space. Backslash should shift you to the next line, right? Not one gap line.
Okay.
Backslash will shift you over here, right? So there should be F over here, right? So now why is this happening? What are all these blanks line doing here? Let's read this. Each line on the file has a new line at the end. So this we know there is one, right? We shift to the next line. But now the problem is the print statement automatically adds a new line to each line. Means I am printing it one by one, right? Whenever this statement is true, it will print a line. So after a line, once it print the next line, it will automatically leave a space so that it looks good. Right? Now how to avoid this? You can use the strip. So the new line is considered as a white space here. So now what will be there? Only the print will be, the backslash of the print will be there, not of the file. So now we'll get like this. Do this, I'll just be back in a moment. The code is here. Do this. Hello.
Yes.
Yes, done.
Yeah.
So with R strip, I'm removing the backslash n, and then you can print this line. Okay. Good. So this we have done. Now it says we can conveniently skip a line by using the continue statement. So what does the continue statement does? It brings you to the next iteration of the loop, right?
Mhm.
So what we are doing is we say line is equal to line dot r strip. So we're removing the white spaces, and if from is not there, you simply continue to the next iteration. Try doing this also. Here's the code for that. I also want to do this. Sorry. Yeah. Done. So if it doesn't start from, it will continue to the next iteration. So it will read the next line and again strip it and then come back. प्रभाकर हुआ ये?
Yeah, हो गया.
Okay. So now we can look for a string anywhere in line as our selection criteria. So it need not to start from. We can simply use the in statement. So I want to find all the lines in which which have all the emails which have come from the same ID, from the same domain. Sorry, from this uc.ac.za. So how to do this? Okay. So कैसे करेंगे? So just copy the previous code. Copy this. Okay. So this we are reading. This is okay. If line, no. If @uct dot ac.za d.za in line. I'm not going to use continue because I'm not using not. Print line. There's the error over here. This is okay. Yes, see this now.
Himanshu?
Yes.
Yeah, in the previous example, that is, if not lined out start with, it's there, right? If it's not there in the line, then it will continue.
Sorry, they come again.
As it says, if not lined out starts with. Yeah, what does it do?
It will continue. What is the meaning of continue? It will move to the next iteration simply. If you don't want this, what you can do is.
No, we want to print the line which starts with from.
We have done that only, right?
But we are using if not line, no?
Yeah, but we are using continue also. So what will happen is if this line which not start from, the loop is not going to print anything. It's simply going to continue to the next iteration.
Okay. It won't stop.
Yeah. But if this condition is not, if this condition holds true, means if it is from, it will print the line.
Okay.
You can do it like this also. If you don't want to use the continue.
Yeah, directly print the line.
Yeah. If from then print line. This also work.
Yeah, this I got it, but if you use not, then we have to continue if the condition is not satisfied.
Yes, exactly. So you have to use the continue statement.
Yeah, got it.
Okay, now to do the next one also. All the lines from UCT. But these are not all the lines from UCT.
So when we open, reading doesn't matter, right? You can use comma R or we may not use.
Yeah, default is R. If you want to edit it, then you have to use W compulsorily.
Himanshu?
So we have done a mistake, yes.
Yeah. Continue. We have to use right.
Why is not this? Why is this not printing anything?
Yeah, even though I am also facing not printing.
This also not working. What is this?
Yeah.
Right now it was working for line and F end. Okay, line is R strip, fair enough. So one line I was just doing it. If this in line, yes, and I'm within the for loop only. So I don't want to continue. I want to print this line. Right. That's it. Why is not printing anything? If it doesn't hold true, it will go for the next element, and then again it will strip the
Uh,
right.
Himanshu,
We
it
need to
worked
restart.
with me. Himanshu,
Yes.
Maybe
it,
we need
it
to
worked
restart the
for me.
kernel. Kernel is not working.
Let
Restart
me
the
just
kernel.
restart it. There is some problem, I think. No.
It's working for me, Himanshu.
Have I used some wrong spelling mistake or spelling or something? UCD ACT AC.ZA, right? Why is not working? In fact, this is also not working for me. Is it mbox short, right?
Hello, it's not ACT, I guess it's ACI only.
AC, okay. Yeah. Yes, that's the reason.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So you got all the mails from that, right? Clear?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So there's a file over here. Is any copy? No. Save this file in Azure. Copy it directly. I believe it should allow from there.
Yes.
New from URL. I'm not downloading notebook here. So okay, so you have to do the long way. You have to download it first on your local system, then upload it. From computer, choose file, mbox, upload.
It's a very big file I used and it took more time.
Is it? Then use the short one. So now what you have to do, you have to ask for the prompting the file name, and you have to return the number of lines. Let me check that. Where is the code? Oops. No such file directory. What's the name? Mbox ही है ना उसका? Okay. There's no hyphen there. Yeah. You'll get there 1797 subject lines in mbox.txt. Try this. Quickly. Done?
Just 2 minutes.
Okay, you have to only count the number of subject lines in the file, not anything else. Okay, means which start with the subject. Do this quickly.
My Jupyter notebook is hanged, I think. How is possible the data set is there in that
Sorry?
scenario? My Jupyter is now hanged only because of this large file or something.
So this file is not that large. If it hangs, just interrupt the kernel. See this. Just click on just click on the stop button.
That's what my cursor is not pointing also. It's purely hanged now.
Sorry, come again.
The cursor is not giving this kind of answer. It's purely hanged
Your
now.
voice is not clear.
Is it okay? Now it's audible? Hello?
Okay, हाँ बोलो.
हाँ वो कर्सर पॉइंट नहीं कर वो माउस का जाता है ना हैंड पॉइंटर नहीं आ रहा है मेरा प्योरली हैंड ना
फिर तो आपको लैपटॉप में कुछ प्रॉब्लम है क्योंकि ये फाइल तो वहाँ पे आपका उधर है ना.
हाँ मैं तो लोकल से
इस इतना प्रॉब्लम मतलब कर्सर तो आना चाहिए.
चला
आपका ब्राउजर हैंग कर गया होगा या तो. Done?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So now you can if you can add a try except loop also here, right? Means if suppose the file name is, if the user enters a bad file name, you'll say file cannot be opened, and then you can quit it, right? So this is will be a better way. So no need to do it right now. I hope you know how to do it, right? Try and accept syntax.
Yes.
Now let me go through some few new things also. Yes. Where is my files folder? Yeah. Hmm. मेरा भी हैंग होगा क्या? Hmm. So there are a few other ways also of reading a line. We'll see that also. Okay. So the first approach that we have seen is we have seen how to use a for loop and read the line one by one using a for loop. Other is we use the read function to read the complete file as a string. Okay. So to open a file we can use open, and if you want you can to close a file you can use this close. Okay. Now it says there are 4 standard ways to read from a file. Some use these methods. One is read lines, other is read. So now let's see this read line and read lines approach. This we have not seen so far. So if we open the file now, this read line approach read lines until we reach the place in the file that we want. Okay. Say for example, let's try this now. Use this. So now I'll share this file again with you. What is this read? What are these files? Just a second. Okay, not require reading of file dot py is there. Okay, that's my file. I'll show you this. How do I share this file? Just a second. Where's my yeah, that's the file path. Download and upload it on Azure.
Yes.
Okay. So now we have this file. Okay. Now let's quickly do this using read lines. Sorry, not read lines, read line. They are two different things, right? Now open the file quickly. So just to understand it better, just open the file once in your notepad. So you'll find the file is like this. Right? So now what I'm trying to do, I just want to read a part of it. Okay. So first of all, I will just open the file. What was the name of the file? Senders. In Flinders Field, sorry. In Flinders Field.txt. Now I opened it, right? Now create an empty string poem. I'll tell you why I'm doing it. Okay. Then let's start reading the file. Okay, so how to read it? Line is equal to Flanders underscore file. That's my handle, and now I have all these options. I'll just go read line. Okay, and then I'm saving it in line. Now while, let me just show you this. Let's run this first, print line. See this? It has just read the first line. Okay. Now what I'm doing, like while, so now starting a loop here. While line is not equal to a blank space, okay, what I will do, I'll keep on.
Everything is there in one line only, no? There.
Sorry.
Everything is there in one line only, in that file.
Yes. No, it's not like that. It's like, see, it depends on the editor also. So I cannot comment on that directly. Let me open it in another file. Because it depends on editor also. Open with WordPad. See, that's how the see this.
Okay.
Okay, so yeah, so editor also matters.
So we are reading the text file only there, and in that everything is in one line only.
That
so
was Notepad. Yeah, but if you read it, read line, it only reads the first line. See this, it stopped after this. See this here.
Okay.
If I use the read line command like this, it only printed the first line, right? Sorry,
Yeah.
it's just because, yeah. So now, so it read only the first line over here in Flanders field. Now I want to read the, yeah, now let me show you this. Where is that going? Yeah. Hmm? Oh, sorry, I've done a mistake here. Yeah, I've not read the line. Line is equal to Flanders dot read line. So now every time this the loop will run, the line will keep on updating. Yes, now let's see this. Flanders pop is not defined. Poem, I defined it here, right? Okay, I have to run it. Sorry, just copy this and put it in the same cell. Now see this. So why is it reading it till the blank? Means everywhere there is backslash n, right? Only after this there is nothing. If I put like this, do I need this? Yes, I do need this. I don't need this. No, it's not printing this. The handle is closed. Yes. Have you guys done this?
Doing it.
Okay. So if I was just want to read is not equal to first comma. Why is not running? Okay, I'm comparing a line with this. Okay. Say for example, I pass this. हुआ ये?
Yeah.
See, this is one way of reading, but it will never stop. If I do like this while true, so it will always keep on running. So what we are doing is like we are creating a condition that see this. If I don't use this loop, I will show you this. ये ध्यान से देखना. So it prints the line like this. Okay, let's try it. अरे प्रिंट नहीं करेगा ऐसे. Okay. Where's that gone? See this. हुआ प्रभाकर ये आपका. So what we are trying to do is like read line will read only one line at a time. So we need to create a loop. Means how many lines I want to read. Okay.
Correct.
So if you want to read the first 10 lines, what you can do? You can simply run a for loop till 10, and then you can print it, right? Or otherwise, if you want to read the completed, just make a line not equal to this quote. This will read the complete text file.
Here we are not using the continue.
We're not using continue. There's no condition over here.
So it will stop. It's a definite loop. It will stop or we provide any.
Yeah. So if you want to, yes. So if you want to use only a fixed number of line, you can use a for loop also.
Yeah.
If I want to use the first 10 lines or something, I can use a for loop over here. Or while loop also, while n less than 10 and put an increment.
Yeah, condition.
Yes, that can also be done. Okay. So read line is for this. Now let's move to another thing. ये हो गया आपका. So when you want to process only a part of file, then we have for approach which you already seen. For line in file. So when we want to process every line in the file one at a time. Okay. Read approach we have already seen. The read will read the complete string once. Now let's see the read lines approach. It says get the contents as a list of strings. Okay. And then you can process contents list using indexing to access particular line from a file. Now this is very helpful. See this. Now look at this code. So again I will be running a for loop over here because first I will just show you this. Hold on. देखो. What was it? Flinders file, right? Flinders file is equal to open that's my file name, right? This is line is equal to Flinders underscore file dot read lines. Please do it simultaneously. Now if I look at line, print line It's a built-in method. I have to convert into a list, I believe. List of line. Okay, we have to write a loop only here. So this we have done Flanders underscore list. Make it Flanders underscore list. And then for list and Flanders underscore list, what should I do? Okay, I'm keep on adding it into this. I have to find one more. Flanders poem is blank. So Flanders poem is equal to Flanders poem plus not list, sorry, this line plus line print Flanders poem. Yeah, and then Flanders file dot close. Error. Object is not iterable. This was the issue. Okay, we got it earlier only. That was the issue. If I simply print Flanders underscore list, this I'll get a list. Okay. See this. Now, as soon as I use read lines, it will read it as a list. So now if you want the first line, simply you can substitute like this. What I'll do? Okay, just hold on. I'll show you next other cell. Just run these two lines. And then Flanders list colon 0. That's the first line. If you want second line, simply use 1. So blank. Third line is this. If you don't want this you can simply use print. If you want the first 10 lines, 0 colon 10. See this. Okay, but if you don't want all this stuff, what we have to do is like we have to convert into a text, and that's what we are doing over here. So don't print this. What I'm doing is I've created a empty string and then I keep on concatenating it with the each and every line, so that once I execute it, I have a complete file as a string. But the purpose of this read lines is to read lines as a string, sorry, list, so that you can easily subset and access each and every line.
Correct.
Clear?
Yes.
Okay.
No, could you just explain once again?
Yeah. So read lines will read the file as a list, with each line as an element of the list. Okay. Mean the first line will be first element, second line will be second element, and so on. So the code is over in the second line only. But now if I print it, it will look like this as a list. Can you see this? It's a list. What is a list we'll see later on.
Yeah.
But if I want to just look at the first line, I will simply use 0. That's my first line. If I want to look at the second one, I will use 1. It's a blank. 2, like this, and so on. Okay. Now what I've done, I've read through the list, each and every element, and then I have converted into a string, so that I can display it like this. But mostly we won't be using this. We will be only stopping here and then accessing any element of the list which we want.
Okay.
So
Yes, done.
Yep.
Okay. So this we have seen. Anything else in files? What's in this file? Reading a file by. Okay. So now we'll break for 10 minutes and then we'll start with next topic. So we're done with files now. Okay.
Mhm.
Now we are going to see the next data type, that is lists. So now things will start becoming more interesting now. Okay. So now we are going to see a
Mhm.
collection of items, not only single items. So let's meet around 6:40 now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. Hello. Yep, shall we start? Okay. So now we are going to discuss lists in Python. Okay. So you know what is in a programming language, you know what is an algorithm and what is the data structure, right? So algorithm is a set of rules or steps used to solve a problem, while a data structure is a particular way of organizing data in a computer. So far, whatever variables we see, they are not a collection. Most of our variables have one value in them. When we put a new value in the variable, the old value is overwritten. Right? Now, what is a list? A list is a collection, a kind of collection. And a collection allows us to put many values in a single variable. Okay. A collection is nice because we can carry many values around in one convenient package. So now let's create some lists quickly. So now friends is a list of a string, Joseph, Glenn and Sally. Right? So how will I make it? It's pretty simple. Okay, meanwhile let me open a new folder quickly. Meanwhile you guys start making a list. That's a file, that's a new folder. So lists. See this, that's a list. Okay, and then you can subset, sorry, this, we don't want this, we don't want this, we don't want this, we don't want this, we don't want. So you can print friends first, you'll print Glenn. If you put a 0, you'll get a Joseph. If you put a 2, so it can be subsetted the same way we are subsetting a string, right? So now it's a list of 3 items, 3 names, or 3 strings, right? Now let's quickly move ahead now. Okay. So what are list constants? List constants are surrounded by square brackets and the elements in the list are separated by commas. A list element can be any Python object, even another list. So list is a heterogeneous data structure. It can have anything within it, and list can be empty also. So for example, this is a homogeneous list with all the numbers. This is homogeneous list with all the strings. Now this is a heterogeneous list. The first element is a string, the others are numeric. Right? Now look at this. In this, it's again a heterogeneous where the first and third element are simply numbered, while the second element is again a list. Okay. So let's create these lists quickly, and let me show you the code. Yeah. So you can simply create a list using square brackets, right? So if you want to create a blank list, I'll just put 2 square brackets, that's it, nothing else. Okay.
Yes.
So now, yeah, so let's move ahead quickly. Now, so we already used list earlier also for writing for loops, right? For I in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, print I, print plus stuff. So this we've already seen, right? So we can easily iterate over a list also, which we have seen many times. Can I skip this?
Yes.
Okay. Now lists are mutable. Means we can change them. Okay. So for example, we have a fruit banana. So now if I mutate a string, it will throw an error trace back, right? But that's not true for a string. Now try this. Create a string called Loto with these numbers. Loto. Okay. Quickly code this. Okay, now if I want to edit the third element from 26 to 28, I can simply do it. It won't throw an error.
So, Hemant, so what are the data structure are you using for Python? One is list.
One is list, one is a dictionary, one is a tuple.
Data frame also you're using here.
Data frame is not a native data structure. It's a form from a list only. So are arrays and like all the matrices and all, they can be derived from lists also. Okay.
Yes.
So data frame can be derived from a list, matrix can be derived from a list, arrays can be derived from a list by putting some constraints. So if we have a one-dimensional list and it is homogeneous, you can call a 1D array. If it is two-dimensional homogeneous list, I can call it a matrix. Right? We'll see them. We'll see that. Sorry?
If it's a heterogeneous two-dimensional, you can call it as a data frame.
Yes. Right. So list is actually very, not very efficient. It's very memory intensive. But once we put those constraints that it should be homogeneous or it should be one-dimensional, that data structures, the derived data structures are very efficient. Like once we study NumPy, once we study pandas and all, we'll see that. Okay, by putting certain constraint on list, we can make them very memory efficient and also very fast. Okay. Yes. So now we have seen this mutable part. Now the len function can also be used here. It will give return the number of elements in a list. So if I use it, if I pass print len of x, I'll get a 4. These are very trivial stuff. Can I skip?
Yeah, sure.
Now let's use the range function. So range we have seen, but let's see it again. The range function returns a list of numbers that range from 0 to 1 less than the parameter. And we can construct an index loop using the for and an index iterator. This we have seen already. So let me show you the code quickly. Yes. So see this. Write this code. Sorry. Done. So this we know. So we'll create a list from 0 to 30 with a step of 2.
Himanshu,
Yes.
we can't put a float number in step as a argument in place of step, like for example 1.5 or something in place of 2.
I think you can do that.
Yeah, but it's coming like float.
Okay, float object interpreted as an integer. So I think you cannot use range for this. But you can write a loop for it, right? To create such a with 1.5 also.
Yeah.
Range is more like sequence in R. So you only take it. No, but in R also you can use the step as pointer, right? We did it so many times. Let me just check it.
That is point.
Returns an object that produces a sequence of integers from start inclusive to stop exclusive by step.
So it will always return a sequence of integer only.
Integers only. These are exactly the valid integers for the stuff for animal. Yes, so it has to be integer only.
Even the R also we cannot pass any floating point.
No, you can pass. Now we used to pass 0.1 and all, right?
Sequence function. Okay.
Yes, it will work. It will work. But this won't. Okay. Now see this one. Okay. Now this is good. I want you to understand this. So one way is like you can write a loop on the where this text gone for this. Yes. Now see this examples. One way is like I can iterate over the values in a list, right? But what if I want to iterate over the index of a list? How will I do it? I can do it using a range function very easily, right? For I in range of len of friends, friend is equal to friends I, and then print Happy New Year friend. Okay. A better example is this one. Try doing this. So I have these numbers and I have to calculate the square of these numbers. Okay, try doing this both the ways. So if I want to iterate over the index, I can use the range of len. And this is actually more popular. This is more useful because a lot of time we have to just use the position, not the number.
Yeah, done.
Done?
Yes.
Yes.
Doesn't give square, right? It gives the multiplied by 2, correct?
Sorry. This is not square. This is multiplied by 2. Yes, so sorry. How to
No,
square
it's
it?
not square.
2 stars will square
Compare
it.
it.
Right.
Two star.
Yes. Okay, can I move it? Same thing you can do for this also. Now, two lists can be very easily concatenated if I add these two lists. Now try this. Now it is not going to sum it, it's going to append it. Done?
Yes.
So see this, it will concatenate. Now we can slice it also using column. Prabhakar, are you there? Yes, he is. Okay. So this is a string. So it's same like 1 colon 3 will give me what? 41 and 12, right? So second number is up to but not including. So column 4 will give me 0, 1, 2, 3, 9, 41, 12, 3. T in 3 column will give me 3 and after 3. 0, 1, 2, 3, 374 and 15. And so on and so forth. Right. Now let's come to this. Now comes a bit interesting part. Now there are various methods in list, right? Which you can see by creating a list. So an empty string can be created like this also. X equal to list, that's it. Now apply dir and then you will skip the first one. Now look at this. Append, clear, copy, count, extend, index, insert, pop, remove, reverse, sort. Okay, so we'll see some of these methods now. So now let's start building a list from a scratch so that we can use these methods. So create an empty list called stuff. Then I want to add book to this list. So it's an empty list, so you cannot put a 0 or a 1, right? You cannot add a number like this. So I can use the append function. Okay. Now I want to so I have a book. I have 99 rupees. Let's say so I append 99 also. And then I also have a cookie in my bag. So append this also. Done. Okay. Now how to check whether there is some element inside a list or not. So we can use in that list. So Python uses two operators. One is in, one is not in. So 9 in sum, true. 15 in sum, false. 20 not in sum, true. They are not modifying the list. They are just logical operator that is telling whether the element is inside the list or not. Done?
Yes.
Okay, good. Now lists are in order. What does it mean? That a list can hold many items and keeps those items in the order until we do something to change that order. A list can be sorted, that it changes order. The sort method, unlike in strict, means sort yourself. Now let's start with this. Create a list. Okay. Joseph, Glenn, and Sally. Now if I use a sort of this, I will get this. Now what is it doing here? Let's see this. This views and list are in order. Let's see this. So now it has appended the sorted the same list. It's not created a copy. It has changed the first one only, right? And I think if you want, you have a copy also function over here. No. It's in place only. No, but this is a copy function. No. No, but there's a way of. Yes, so one way is like you can use a list function on it. Right? A table, why is calling it table? Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
I think they should copy separately on.
Sorry, come again?
You can copy it using friends, not copy.
Please mute. Please mute. Who is this? No, but it is already sorted, right? Now you can, using the copy, you can create a copy of it. Yes, that's correct. Okay, but we don't want to use it right now, so it's like now if I want to in the reverse order. Okay. So TNF doesn't work in Python, it's in R. So now there are a number of functions. Okay. That can be used as functions in this. So we have the length, we have the max, we have the min, we have the sum, and we can use the average also like this. Do this. Done?
Yes.
Okay. Now let's do an exercise quickly.
Himanshu,
Yes.
uh, suppose if we define any list by
Mm-hmm.
any, say for example here, this suppose for example, say for example X is a list which contains the elements A, B, C, right? Okay.
Right.
Okay. Now we define in another list that is equal to the earlier list that we defined. Say for example Y equal to X. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So now if we change the element of the
X.
Y element, yeah.
Okay.
Say for example, so by any value, so will the value of X will be changed also?
Yes, it will be changed.
So how to control that?
So there's a function called copy. That's what I was talking about. So if you use copy, it creates a copy. Otherwise, it just takes an. So what it does is like basically Y is not a new list. It's just a. It's also pointer to a new same old list. Means Y and X are both pointing towards the same memory location. Okay.
Okay.
So if you don't want it, you want to create a new location, then you make a copy of it.
Okay, so we can also do like that. We can define the new list by Y equal to list of X.
Yes,
Then we
that
can
will
do
also
like
work.
that
Yes,
only.
exactly. We'll see that. So you can also do
In
that.
that, one scenario is that consider X is a list that is of 3 length and Y is a list of 4 length. If you assign Y to X, how it will work in that scenario? It will only 4
No, it
length
will be. It will simply overwrite Y values. So if X is ABC,
Okay.
Y is 1, 2, 3, 4. If you put Y is equal to X, then Y is AB. Y is simply what? क्या था पहले? X अगर ABC है, Y 1, 2, 3, 4 है, तो YX करोगे तो Y is ABC now.
Okay.
Getting it?
Okay, got it.
Now Y and X are exactly same. They are not two different
X
variables.
is ABC and Y is 1, 2, 3, 4 means if you Y equal to X means it will give only ABC.
Right.
Correct?
Yes.
And Himanshu, one more thing. This friend list that we have defined that by the element Joseph, Glenn, and Sally. Can we invoke the replace method in friends like what we did in the string?
No.
Like we can't invoke that.
No.
We have to assign it right with
Yes.
the alpha index.
Right. Yes.
Okay, so what are the methods that we can find using the directory function, right? I mean, what are the methods that can be?
Yes, we've seen it. I will show you how it's. So we have remove, reverse, insert, index, append, and all that. Append, clear, copy, count, extend, index, insert, pop, remove, reverse, sort.
Okay. Okay, you can continue.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now do this question yourself. So earlier we wrote a program like this to calculate the count, the sum and the average, right, of few numbers. Okay. Now I want to rewrite this program using list. So you'll be taking a list of numbers entered by the users. Okay, using a list. कैसे करोगे इसको? Do this.
Hello.
Yes.
Hello.
Yes.
Himanshu sir, first number we should put in list, then do this work, right?
No, it's like you're the user is inputting number continuously. Okay, now you can use list and its function stored in a list. Yes. Okay, and then you have to calculate
Okay.
the like sum, count, and everything of that. So you can use all those functions that we have seen, sum, minimum, maximum also if you want. So you can use an append over here. So first declare an empty list. Okay, start a loop which will keep on asking for more and more value unless until there is a some prompt. Some prompt means
Okay.
if the user inputs are done, I will stop. Otherwise, I will keep on taking values. And once it is stopped, then I am going to return the sum, the count, and the average of that list.
और क्या काम कर रही हो गोभी इतना सारा
Please mute.
क्या हुआ
Done.
Yes.
Let's try this.
Then you execute this thing.
Yes, 30, 40, 50. Done. The average is 40. You can print all the other things. I have not printed. I just printed the average. You can print other things also.
Okay.
So everything has to be appended with the num in the num list, right?
Yes.
Clear?
Yes.
Okay, so this we have done. This we also did. Is it here? Okay. What is in the code now? Is a list. Let's do this first. Okay. Now let's say we have a string with 3 words. Okay. Now what happens if I use a split function on a string? We'll get a list of these 3 words,
Okay.
right? So split function is useful to break a string into a list with each word as its own element of a list. Okay, now what we can do, we can run a loop on this words if you want, right? Like this.
Mhm.
Okay, that can be handy. Okay, now if I have a lot of space, if I use split, this white space will go. White space will not come in the list. Okay, now look at this line, first, second, third. Now it is separated by a semicolon, not a space. Now if I use a split on it directly, it will return a single word only. For this, we can pass the delimiter as semicolon inside the split brackets, and then it will break into 3 words.
Okay.
Okay,
Mhm.
it's all trivial stuff. This is all very trivial, which you can do yourself. Okay, let me show you some good thing. Okay, this we already discussed. Now suppose look at this. This Prabhakar was discussing this. Look at this. I have a list 1 and I copied list 2. As list 2 is list 1. Okay, and then I appended the second element of list 2 as 100. Now what happens to list 1? The 100 is assigned here also. Right? Means list 1 or list 2 are not two different things, they're actually same thing. And if you want to see, there's an ID function for it, which gives you the memory location. See this. This will be an exact same memory location for both. Do this, I'll just come. Now this can be very well explained by looking the Python tutor if you want. Where was that Python tutor? Yes. Yes. Where was that? Okay, let's just see this. So as soon as I run this, so this is list 1, right? Now list 2 is equal to list 1. See this. Both are pointing to the same list. And once I put list 2 as 100, it both are appended as 100. Right? Now see this. List 3 is equal to list of lst1. Now I execute it. See this now. Now list 3 is a copy of this. So these are two different memory locations. Or I believe that will also work. lst1 dot copy. See this. Okay.
Yeah.
So just be careful, and sometimes while writing code we think that we are assigning it, but actually it's like the same. Both will be changed together only. So it can be a big issue. So either you can use the list function or you can use dot copy. Both are, you can use any out of the two. Clear? Or you can do this also. Write a loop and add each value of lst1 and lst3. See this. This copy, this changed. This is an empty list. Okay. This one list. This second. Right. That's it. Okay, so this is again what's a bit tedious way. Better are those functions, but this will also work. And now if you change one, the other will not change. Okay. Good. Okay, let's see this also. It's not very. This we have seen. So this file we read, and once I split it, I'll get it like a list. Okay. It says sometimes we split a line one way and then grab one of the pieces of the line and split it again. So if, for example, now I want to get this first and I want to break this also. So what I can do, first I'll read this, I'll get this line dot split. So I'll get all these elements, right? So Stephen this completely will be a single object. Then I can split it on at the rate. So this will one, this will the other. Dekho. If I use line dot split and then email is equal to words of 1, so this I will get. Now what I can do, I can use a split for at the rate. So I'll get it like this. So the domain name is separate and the username is separate. And then if you want, you can separate this also by using split out on dot. Right? So that's anything. Yeah. So that's it for list. Let me show you some good examples of list. Let's start with range. So range we've already seen, right? And we know how to apply. We can use range to run a loop on the index rather than on the values of a list. We can run a loop on the index of it. So remember this is a very common application of range function. Then we can see corresponding elements. What are these? Okay, this we already seen. Okay, if it says two lists are parallel if they have same length and items at each index are somehow related. The items at the same index are said to be at corresponding positions. So these are two lists, list 1 and list 2. So these are corresponding position 1, 2, 2, 4 and 3, 2. So list 1, 0 is corresponding element of list 1, 0 is list 2, 0. The corresponding of list 2, 1 is list 1 and so on. Okay. Now what is the benefit of using this corresponding element? Say for example, I have to create a function to match characters. So this is a function. Now what is this? From here to here.
Doc string, right?
Right. So you remember the function recipe, right? What is this?
It will take two string as a argument and will return an integer.
Right, it's a type contract, right?
Mhm.
So return the number of characters in S1 that are same as the character at the corresponding position of S2. So I want to find out of the in string S1 and S2 for which indexes or for how many characters they have the same value. So for example, 8 and ape. I have two same, A and E are same. Same characters at the same position. So head and hard, I will have H and a D. So how to execute it? Can you write a function for this? Okay, try this now.
Sure.
Calculate the number of matches if I pass two strings of the same length. So that's a precondition, so don't worry about that. The length passed by the user will be same. You have to just write a function to match the number of pair matches. is done.
Yes.
Okay, how you do?
We'll compare. We'll compare each string by each character by character by setting a counter equal to 0 first.
So we'll write a loop on the string, either of the string, right? String 1 or string 2, or maybe the length of it
Yes.
also. Length will be
Mhm.
better, right? For I in range of length of S1, right? If S1I is equal to S2I, number of matches will be incremented by 1. And I'll simply return number of matches. Right?
Yeah.
Otherwise, can you do it without this range function? I don't think so, because we have to extract the elements of S1 and S2, right? If I run a loop on elements of S1 directly, I cannot find out the elements of S2.
Yeah.
Or in that case, I have to write a nested loop. That will be more difficult. Right? So this is good. ऐसे ही किया सबने?
Yeah.
Okay. Good. Now with list method we already seen. I'll just quickly go through it. So we have an append, we have an extend. See this? Append will append an object. Say colors is yellow, blue. I want to append red. I do that. Now extend. Append the items in the list parameter to the list. So colors dot extend pink and green. Okay. So now in append, yes, in append you can only append one item at a time. Extend can be used for multiple items. Okay. Then this pop is also useful. So the default pop will remove the last element of the list. So for example, colors is this now. So colors.pop will give you green. Means, and now if you print colors, you won't have any green. But now you can also use it for with the index also. So colors.pop 2. So now 2 is 0, 1, 2 red. So red will be popped up. If I print again, it will be yellow, blue and pink. Clear? Or you can use the remove function also. So I want to remove green color. So list colors.remove green. So since there is no green, it will throw an error. Colors.remove a pink will work, and I will get yellow and blue. Now we use pop when we have to assign that deleted value somewhere. So here you see colors.pop will return green, so I can save it anyway in some other place, right? But you cannot do this with colors.remove. So that's the difference. Okay. Now we have a reverse function that will simply reverse the list. So left to right it will become right to left. 85, 75, 65, 95. Then sort will of course sort it. Okay. Insert is now very good function. Insert can insert an element within a list at any given position. Otherwise it becomes a bit difficult. So first the index and then the value. So I have grades over here which is 85, 75, 65, 95. I want to insert something on position 280. So position 2 will be 0, 1, 2, 3. So 85 will be shifted, 80 will be inserted. Such that 80 will now have position 2, 0, 1, 2. Okay, if you want you can do this. Then you can also get the information from the list. So list.count A will give you how many A's you have or how many same elements you have in the list. So we have 2 here. And now this is also good. List.index will return the index of the first occurrence of object. Letters.index A will give you the first occurrence, that is 0. D will throw up an error because there is no D in the list. So these are the various methods of
So the letters of index, how it's 0? Because already in the list A is present.
it's the index, the position of A it is returning.
Okay.
Is 0
So
position.
second position also, sorry, first position also.
It will return, read this. It will always return the first occurrence only.
Okay. Got it.
Okay. So I will just quickly recap. We have index, we have count, then we have insert to insert at a particular position, sort to sort it out, reverse to reverse the list, remove to remove the object with a given name, pop to remove the last object or the index, and you can save it somewhere. Extend to add more than one values within a list, together. Append to add one element in a list. Okay. So that's with this list method. Now let's see mutability. So we know it is mutable, right? Means I can append the list by adding a new value, or they can be replaced also just by assigning some new value, and it can be removed also. So all these things are pretty much common. Then what is aliasing? Aliasing we have seen. If I equate two lists, list2 is just an alias of list1. Means just with just a different name, but two same persons but different names, right? And to change them, you know how to do it. If you don't want this feature, you can use the copy function or the list function. Okay. Now we can have nested list also within a list. So for example, like this. Usually we don't use it. We rather prefer a dictionary rather than using a nested list. We'll see it later. So for example, I have the grades. So I have 3 assignments and 3 values for it. Now I have saved it as a list of lists. Okay. Now I'll put grades of 0. I'll get the first element, that is assignment 1, 80. This I will get. Grades 1 will be this and so on. Now how will I access this element, assignment 1? What should be the subsetting? Okay, do this quickly. I'll just copying you this. I want you to print this. Where is my mouse? Yeah. I want you to print assignment 1 separately. We'll do this in Python tutor. So that's my list. Okay, now look at what will grade 0 print?
Assignment 180.
Right. So use the print function also. What will grades 0 print?
Assignment 180.
Assignment 1 only.
Assignment 1 only, right? Not 80.
Yeah. assignment 1.
Okay. What else were we doing here? Okay, now sublist is grades of 0, and then I will have sublist of, let's say, 0. Now see this. Okay, now look at the head. Now see this beauty. So grades is a object within object. Now see this. We have 0, 1, 2. 0 is again a list. 1 is again a list. 2 is again a list. Right? Now I will make it forward. So it is printed assignment 180. Again it is printed assignment 1. Now look at this. I am creating sublist is equal to grade of 0. See this. So now this is also not a copy. It's the same thing. I am just pointing it to this. And now sublist of 0 is, it won't show you here, but you can print over here to see. Or better is like, let's say x is equal to sublist of 0. See this. So grades is just 0, 1, 2. Sublist is only this. And x is only this element, assignment 1 of it. Okay. Now let me show you one more thing. If it shows this ID of grades, ID of sublist, and ID of x. No, it won't show. I have to print it. See this. No, sorry, I made a mistake here. I don't want to print this.
Same.
Now they will be same. Yeah. So grades of 0 and sublist is nothing but the same thing only. They are exactly the same. Which is assignment list of assignment 1 and 80. So if I change the sublist, the grades will also change. Similarly, x is nothing but exactly the first element of sublist. Okay?
Okay. Yeah.
Good. So is anything left in nested list? No, this we have seen. Okay. Now let's quickly see nested loops also. The bodies of loops can contain any statement including other loops. When this occurs, this is known as nested loop. This we have seen actually in the for statement, but let's see this again. So for I in range 10 to 13 and for j in range 1 to 5, print ij. So what is the output here? First of all, I value will be assigned as 10. Then j value will start with 1. So I will print 10, 1. Then I will still be 10, j will keep on incrementing till 4. So I'll get 10, 1, 10, 2, 10, 3 and 10, 4. Now once this loop is finished, I value will be incremented to 11. Then I have 11, 1, 11, 2, 11, 3, 11, 4. And then so with 12.
Yes.
right? Let's look at example for this. Example of a nested loop. So I've defined a function to calculate the average grades. The input is a list of numbers, and output is a list of float. So I return a new list in which each item is the average of the grades in the inner list at the corresponding position of the grades. So now this is the example. Okay. So I have to calculate the average of first element, second element, and third element respectively. So this is 90, which you can see. This is again 75, you can see, and this one is 85. So now how will you do this?
Nested loop.
So first a loop will run the outside loop and then the inner loop, right? See this. Calculate the average of each sublist and append it to the averages. Okay. And now to calculate the average, we will take the sum. ये कर सकते हो खुद से?
Yes.
Okay, try this now. So the input should be this, and the output should be this. Yes, written over here. Can you do this?
Yes, I'm doing so.
Okay. Yes, done. Prabhakar Sameer.
Just 1 minute, sir.
So the first loop will run in the elements of the list, and then second loop will run within that list. Okay.
Yes.
So now I can pass any list of any size within it, right? It will work. There is no such constraint. Okay. Any doubts in this?
No.
Okay. So we are closing it now. So we are done with list also. Tomorrow we'll try to finish the basic. We'll do dictionary and tuples. Okay. Once we are done with it, we are done with the basics of Python. Then we'll start with focus on data science. So we'll start with our NumPy library, which is specifically for dealing with numbers and all. Okay.
Okay.
And then we'll move to Matplotlib and other libraries. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Chalo then. See you tomorrow.
I think last time you have not sent the files for those stuff. I think.
Sorry.
You didn't send the documents for the list and this stuff today, whatever you have covered.
I think I already sent you all the documents.
The list is not something is missing. I think 5 or 6 is missing. When I check, it will be
6
1,
is
2,
missing.
3.
There is no 6. There is no 6 actually. Yes. There is no 6.
Okay.
There's a
So
mistake
5
in
is
the
missing.
numbering. 5 is.
I think
Just hold on.
Himanshu.
Yeah.
Can you send us the assignment for strings here?
Yes, I send you everything for lists, for the loops, for the functions. Files I have not sent you.
yeah, something. Yeah.
Okay. No, I will not. I will put it somewhere online only rather than mailing it. That's better, right? You want assignments also, and plus. Okay, I'll try to put it on Moodle Moodle today night only. Otherwise, I'll put it on somewhere online and share the link with you.
Sure.
Yeah, okay, Himanshu.
Okay. Thank you so much. See you tomorrow. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Himanshu. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Yeah.